Well, they don't know who I'm talking about, do they? So we have Rick Surrency, the superintendent of schools.
Good morning, Susan, and I've been called all kind of things, so don't
Well,
worry
I was
about
trying to call you the best I could. I was being nice.
it.
Well,
it seems like
hey, coach.
seems like Monday morning, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's definitely a Monday morning, and I enjoyed the week. If it hadn't rained all day, it'd been really nice.
Yeah. Well, kind of hopefully not a preview of what's to come, but
Unfortunately, it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wet week, and I just hope we get it on through here.
yeah.
I don't know if didn't get a chance to see it Friday night, but if you were not at that football game, and you may or may not, you've got 3 of them to go to, so I don't know where you were. Palatka High is fun to watch again.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of good things.
Fun.
Yep. Good things are going.
They really are.
Were you able to go?
Well, I have a granddaughter cheering. I tell you that I'm able to go. I go. But and I usually watch the cheerleaders, and I couldn't this time. I kept watching that game.
Yeah.
And Bill's baby brother Scott showed up. We laugh about him being the baby brother because we're in our 60s, he's in his 40s, and who played football professionally. He said he hadn't seen a football game that much fun in years.
Yeah.
He said that kid's fun to watch.
Yeah. Coach Fells has brought a lot of attitude, good attitude to Palatka High. That's good.
He's teaching discipline, sportsmanship.
Yep.
And how to play football and how to win.
Yep.
They won they lost that one, but everybody thought they'd really lose, and they didn't. They held their head up till the end with that game. But that little running back is fun.
Well, it's about building young men, so.
About building character.
Yeah, we'll get them. The wins will come.
The wins will come. There's no doubt about it. But I told folks this morning, if you sat at home Friday night and you thought you didn't even do, you should have had your hiney at a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one. Pick whatever school's in your area and go to a high school football game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just fun, and we need to support those kids.
Well, we've got 3 great programs in our district. So
yeah, we do.
Actually 4 if you count Penal. Yep. But,
so I wanted to tell you that this morning how much I enjoyed that game, and how much I am thankful that Palatka High School has concrete bleachers.
Yeah.
Because they had aluminum bleachers over there, and I've forgotten about the stomping.
Yeah,
but,
we have so much to be thankful for. We have a quality program, quality facilities.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot to be thankful.
Yeah.
And
so urge everybody to come out to whichever school you're dear to and support them, right?
And support them. What else do we have going on? There's always lots going on with the schools.
Yeah, lots going on. We have another school board meeting today, and we have a presentation from Justin Campbell. Justin, as you know, is one of our city commissioners, but he also works for the school district. He's our 21st century coordinator. So he's going to talk about some of the 21st century programs, after school programs going on at some of our schools. And this is a great way for parents to have their kids involved in things after school. We provide transportation. So he'll summarize some of the activities going on at our schools and encourage you to come out
or watch it online. Programs are great.
Yeah, you said after school programs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because especially in this day and time when parents are working and that type of thing, sometimes they can't get there right after school to pick them up. So we do offer that for kids to, take advantage of some recreational activities.
I think it's a great thing to be able to do that, and gives them a chance to get back into club work. And I think club work is very, very positive because if we don't teach them to volunteer at that age, we have adults that don't volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a couple of years of generations of they don't volunteer.
Yeah, it's about giving back to your community.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
You have to learn to give back. Excuse me. And those kids that are in Key Club, Anchor Club, FFA, all the other clubs are in there, that's what they're learning.
Yep. It's a great proving ground. And the other thing I want to mention, at the secondary level, students can do a lot of their remedial work or, catching up. And we have some classes that, we pay for.
If you're weak someplace, that's the time to go get the help.
Right. So
or
that
I'd still be sitting in a math class.
Now, I know, the schools, the high schools and middle schools provide time during the day also, but this is a way after school, too, where they can get some extra help. So just parents, just pay attention to today at the board meeting, and Justin can summarize all this for you.
And you can go to, somebody took my note down. Give me the address for the website.
It's Putnam Schools TV on YouTube.
Putnam Schools TV on YouTube. But do you know what the district website is? Either one of you?
It's putnamschools.org.
Putnamschools.org.
And you can watch it live stream, or you can watch a recording.
You can do that, and if you can't be at home for the live stream, we'll get the kids to bed, and then you and your husband or your wife need to sit down together and watch it so that you're aware of what's going on in your child's world,
Absolutely.
because they are our future.
Tonight, I also want to put a plug in for college night at Palatka High.
I did hear something about that.
I believe it's 6, if I'm not mistaken. And anyway, just come out, and there are a number of colleges represented each year in the Commons area, and just walk around, pick up some of the literature.
And if you're a ninth grader or a sophomore, that's not too early to start looking.
Absolutely not.
If you know what your focus is on. Some kids know. My husband knew from I think time he was in junior high what he wanted to do, and he had to find a school that was accredited for it. But he knew. I didn't know. I just went to school because my dad wouldn't let me join the military. So, but I didn't pay attention. I wasn't focused, and you could tell it in my schoolwork compared to his.
Well, with our emphasis on acceleration, kids at the Palatka High and Interlaken High can actually take college classes as a freshman.
Yes.
And where you can earn an AA by the time you graduate from high school.
Actually, you usually get it before you graduate.
So,
what, about 2 weeks they graduate before you guys do?
So college, we're trying to encourage kids to start looking at college now.
And as a grandparent, I encourage parents, because I paid for 3 kids to go to college, to start looking into that and encouraging your children to do that. They can still do the extra stuff after school. They can still be a kid. They can, still be a teenager, but they can go ahead and start that college career and get those core classes done.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, and of course with our Cambridge programs at QI Roberts and at Crescent City, again they can earn college credit as well, and have great opportunity when they graduate. So
now, will we eventually have Cambridge at Interlaken, or is it close enough for QI Roberts that you won't do that?
Well, probably continue with the collegiate high school there.
Because it's kind of in the middle of Palatka and Interlaken, really.
Yeah, I mean the reason we did that is we had kids that were going to Cambridge from Crescent City that were traveling by bus.
Yeah, Crescent City, it's part of Putnam County, but it doesn't seem to drop in the right area for schools. It's, if we had QI Roberts was over in East Palatka, then that would have worked for them instead of where it is.
So, I'm sure there are some students who would be attending Interlaken who are going to Cambridge, so proximity-wise, it's a lot closer to them. So that's why we're offering the collegiate high school there.
Yeah, it makes sense. And every time I go by there, I look at that front fence and can't decide, did they use cups to make that sign out there, and who designed it, or if it's another type of design.
Yeah, that's a cool sign.
It is a cool sign.
Yeah.
So you see that.
I want to mention too, we're always about trying to get people involved in the school system, like you mentioned. We have a superintendent's advisory council that meets like every other month, one in Interlaken, one in Crescent City, and one here in Palatka. But last week we actually met with a parent group, a parent advisory group. Now the superintendent advisory council usually are community and business leaders in the community, but now we're focusing on parents. So every school has someone representing them who is a parent who will meet with myself and my staff once a month, and they'll actually meet at the boardroom. And so again, if you're interested or you just want to give some input to your parent representative, contact your school and ask them who the parent representative is who meets with the superintendent once a month. And again, you're always willing to contact our office, but this person will actually come and voice any specific concerns from your school. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah. So again, we're trying to reach out and make sure people have an opportunity to voice their concerns or give us input. So lights went out.
Lights went out. Is that time for us to close off?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking, because I know we were on a timer with him. We have he does such a good job out there.
But talking about parent involvement, that's one way parents can make their voice heard as far as the district goes. But every school has a school advisory council.
And parents, I cannot tell parents enough. And this is where the person that screams enough the longest usually gets heard. I screamed a lot when my boys were in school, and I think when they saw me coming, they all ducked and ran. But parents have to be involved in their children.
Right.
This is, you brought them into the world. They're yours to raise, not the school's to raise, but yours. And the school's part of it.
Well, case in point, you asked me about a particular issue at Palatka High School, and you and I talked about it.
Yeah.
But again, we talked about the need for just talking to the school officials and getting an explanation there. And that's what I usually do when parents call me about a particular problem. I just encourage them, not that I won't help also, but I encourage them to reach out to their principal or their guidance counselor to find out more specifically what's going on, because we want to make sure that they have that relationship, with their.
And I know I pick on Palatka High a lot because that's what I know about.
Mhm.
But I talk about and try to do both sides of it. But all my kids went through Palatka High School.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson graduated from high school with a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer. And I have a granddaughter that's a social butterfly, and she makes good grades, and she's cheerleader, and she does anchor club, and she does FFA, and I say, can you fit your grandmother somewhere in the social schedule? And got told the other day, hunting season's coming up, Grandma. I said, okay, I'll see you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, son. But you have to be involved in what your kids do. And if you have grandchildren, you need to still be involved. No, you're not the one there, but you need to encourage. You need to be able to sit and listen. A lot of times kids will talk to a grandparent when they won't talk to a parent.
Right.
So you need to listen, and then you need to have communication back to the parents and back to the school.
Well, we talk about parent involvement and what parent involvement entails, and it's having that conversation with your kids.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not going, oh, what'd you do at school today? Yeah, let me see your papers. What'd you do? What'd you talk about? What'd you learn in class?
Mm-hmm.
Just what'd you do in school when you walked in the door isn't enough. And if you have a child that's playing sports, you need to be there. Unless you're at work, and sometimes work schedules I quit a job over it actually because of what they wanted, and I said, no, my kids come first.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to put your children up there with you.
Well, it's being able to have a conversation with the school, the teacher, the principal, whoever, about things that they have questions about. May be good, may not be so good.
It may be a child's having a problem in a class.
Mm-hmm.
You go in, you want to meet with the teachers and find out if they're having a problem with one class or they're having a problem with all the classes. Sometimes it's just one.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like a communication between parent and teacher, or parent or teacher and child,
Mm-hmm.
and it's figuring out a way to get that fixed, and work on it from there. Teachers have personalities just like children do.
Yeah,
And sometimes they don't work together, and sometimes they do.
well, sometimes the teacher may not know that there is a problem unless someone brings it to their attention.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And,
So, and again,
and a parent doesn't know that a child's struggling until they see a report card unless they have communication.
and again, we talk about the parent portal,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you don't have to wait till a report card comes out.
Oh, it was my grandson's nightmare.
Yeah, you can actually
Yeah.
look on a daily basis and see how they're doing.
And I wish that had been in place when my boys were there.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Big Brother. You're watching over your
Oh,
shoulder.
yeah. Well, I watched over my kids' shoulder anyway, they knew it. And they do that to two of them do it to their children. I don't know that one of them does, but two of them do it to their children very closely.
Yeah, justice is served, right?
Well, remind me when we get off there to tell you the Andy story, because you'll get a kick out of it. But his daughter is not letting him forget it yet.
Whatever your kids did in school, their kids will do unto them, right?
Well, no, Andy has a daughter that is extremely smart. I mean, she's scary smart. Andy had almost a photographic memory. He just didn't use it until he got to college.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you real quick. We had a math test, and the teacher put the grade in and put a 10 instead of 100. And due to parent portals, they knew it, and he went and yanked her out of class, tore her up, and sent her back to class to apologize. She made 100 on the test.
Oh boy.
That's where you talk to a teacher
Yeah.
before you discipline the child.
Right.
And she reminds him of that quite frequently.
Yeah.
So, but I can't tell you enough that talk to your children, talk to your teachers.
Give them due process, right?
Give them a chance. You know, at my house, if you got paddling at school, you got 2 more at home.
Right.
So first you find out why they got paddled, and then you go from there.
Yeah. Well, we want to make sure we ask kids what's going on and not automatically assume that they're at fault. You know.
It goes 2 ways. You got to find the whole thing. Sometimes sometimes personalities don't work, and you need to move somebody. You need to move them. And in high school there are options to do that with, but that's usually the last thing you want to do.
Well, the main thing, this calls attention again to every student. Every kid needs someone significant in their life to talk to, an adult to talk to, whether it's about grades or about social issues or about anything. You know, we talk about mental health. We got to make sure that kids have somebody they can talk to about school or things outside of school, just to make sure that things don't boil up and become a
Well,
problem.
that's exactly right, and we need to keep that conversation going. And kids need, what's the thing? If you see it, tell it.
See something, say something.
See something, say something.
Right.
All right, we're running out of time. I think he's already lost us on the tape. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Susan, good seeing you again.
So it's good to see you.
18th, I believe, September 18th. So,
All right, I'll be here, and I know you will be.
Yeah, good
Thanks
to see
so
you again.
much. All right,
You
bye
bet.
bye.